May I commence the proceedings, my lord? Tamil Thai வாழ்த்து.
நீராரும் கடலொடுத்த நிலமடந்தை கெழிலொழுகும் சீராரும் வதனமென திகழ் பரத கண்டமிதில் தெக்கணமும் அதில் சிறந்த திராவிடனர் திருநாடும் தக்க சிறு பிறை நுதலும் தரித்தனரும் திலகமுமே அத்திலக வாசனை போல் அனைத்துலகும் இன்பமுற எத்திசையும் புகழ் மணக்க இருந்த பெரும் தமிழனங்கே தமிழனங்கே உன் சீரிழமை திறம் வியந்து செயல் மறந்து வாழ்த்துதுமே வாழ்த்துதுமே வாழ்த்துதுமே.
May I request the learned Advocate General to give farewell address to the Honorable Thiru Justice R. Subramanian.
My Lord, the Honorable Chief Justice and other Honorable Judges of the Madras High Court, family members and friends of the Honorable Justice R. Subramanian, Learned Additional Solicitor General Thiru A.R.L. Sundaresan, Learned Additional Advocate Generals Thiruvalargal Ajmal Khan, Veera Kadiravan, Haja Nasiruddin, Kumaresan, Bhaskaran, J. Ravindran, Ramanlal, Chandramohan, Suresh Kumar, Neelakantan and Muthukumar. Learned State Public Prosecutor Thiru Hasan Muhammad Jinnah, Learned State Government Pleader A. Edwin Prabhakar, Learned Government Pleader Madurai Thiru P. Tilakkumar, Learned Government Law Officers of Tamil Nadu at the Principal Bench and Madurai Bench of the Madras High Court, Learned Public Prosecutor of Puducherry Thiru Mohan Das, Learned Government Pleader of Puducherry Thiru S. Ravikumar, Learned Government Law Officers of Puducherry and the Law Officers of Union of India, Thiru P.S. Amalraj and Thiru V. Karthikeyan, Chairman and Vice Chairman of the Bar Council of Tamil Nadu and Puducherry, Thiru S. Prabhakaran, Vice Chairman of the Bar Council of India, Thiru M. Bhaskar, President of Madras Bar Association, Thiru G. Mohankrishnan, President of the Madras High Court Advocates Association, Thirumati N.S. Revati, President of Women Lawyers Association, Thirumati P. Selvaraj, President of the Law Association, Thiru Isaac Mohanlal, President of the Madras Bench of the Madras High Court Bar Association, Thiru Andiraj, President, Madurai Bench High Court Advocates Association, Thiru M.K. Suresh, President, Madurai Bar Association of Madurai Bench of Madras High Court, Thiru V. Ramakrishnan, President of Madras High Court Madurai Bench Advocates Association, the newly elected President and other office bearers of the Women Advocates Association Madurai, all other office bearers of the respective associations, Thirumati S. Ali, Registrar General, the officers and staff of the Registry of the Madras High Court at the principal seat and its bench at Madurai, fellow senior advocates and beloved advocates, representatives of the electronic and print media, viewers watching the proceedings online, ladies and gentlemen, அனைவருக்கும் மாலை வணக்கம். 600004. This is the pin code for Mylapore. For those unfamiliar with the terrain, Mylapore is a cultural, commercial and residential part of central Chennai. When I welcomed the Honorable Chief Justice the other day, I had mentioned that Madrasapatnam is a few centuries old. That is factually correct. But Mylapore precedes that. It has to be because the famous Kabalishwara temple itself dates back almost 2000 years from the remains of its old temple, while the new one itself is over 400 years old. To top that, the Church of Our Lady of Light, popularly called the Lust Church, was itself built by the Portuguese almost 550 years back. These are two out of the several landmarks of which Mylapore can boast of. But there is yet another relatively unknown landmark in the heart of Mylapore, diagonally opposite the Thiru MRTS station. It's a quiet road, more a dead-end lane with about 40 houses. It is called Pelatop. Please remember this name when I start narrating the life and times of this evening's hero, my friend Justice R. Subramanian, who is retiring at midnight today. The reason why I emphasize the midnight is in case any of my friends here think he is no longer a judge after his reply to the farewell address, watch out. He can still commit you for contempt till midnight, as he was born on 25th July 1963 at Manangadu village in Tanjavur, yet another product of this rice belt. However, one has to bear in mind that the Tanjavur district of the 60s, when his lordship and I were born, was one vastly expansive area covering a better part of southern Tamil Nadu until it was fragmented years later. My own alleged native place near Mayavaram in Tanjavur is today in Nagapattinam district. Those born on 25th July come under the English star sign Leo, which incidentally is also the name of my second attempt as an author. If you go to the artificial intelligence overview on what is the personality of Leo, this is what it says. Leos are bold, warm and loving. They are also the ultimate performers. They can dazzle with the theatrical flair of a Broadway star and the charisma of a politician. They are captivating personalities. No matter how quickly they have just been introduced to a topic, they can speak eloquently about anything. If anybody has entered court hall number 2 in the last few months, every one of these characteristics will stand out, especially the bit about speaking eloquently about anything. I thought I will pull Justice Subramanian's leg by referring to some other celebrity who was born on the same day, because whenever I talk about my birthday as 7th November, everybody around me will turn around and say, oh, apdiya, Kamal Hassan. But even here, Justice Subramanian beat me. Believe me, he is the only celebrity born on 25th of July. No wonder his parents, K.V. Rajagopalan and Tirumati Saradambal, named their son after Lord Subramanian, or more particularly referred to in Tamil Nadu as Murugan, also called Skanda or Kartikeya in the other parts of the country. All Subramanians in Tamil Nadu will either be Mani or Subbu. This boy was called both by different sections of people. I myself belong to the Mani group. Before much later, Subbu became more fashionable. Justice Subramanian not only hails from the rice belt, but is the son of a cultivating rice farmer who was also an honorary member of the Tamil Nadu Rice Research Institute at Adudurai. He did his schooling in Chennai, having studied at St. Thomas High School, and later on shifted back to Tanjavur to finish his 12th standard from the Sir P.S. Sivaswamy Higher Secondary School at Tirukatupalli, an educational institution which the learned judge even till today takes care of for all its requirements. I have to keep saying some of these nice things before I pull him occasionally. After graduating from AVM Sri Pushpam College in Pundi, in BCom, another common thing we have, his lordship moved to a more exciting venue for our further studies in law. No prizes for guessing. Dr. Ambedkar Government Law College at Puducherry between 1983 and 1986. It was here that I first met Justice Subramanian in December 1983 when my old friend Dr. Justice Muralidhar and I came to his college to make the Madras Law College win the Philip C. Jessup Moot Court for the first time. We had quite a celebration which included Justice Parthiban. No more of that, though coincidentally many moons later both of you got elevated together. Now comes Pelatop, which has been renamed Vedanta Desikar Swami Street. Can you believe that this small lane in Mylapore has produced 8 judges of the Madras High Court from just 40 houses? Starting with the Venerable Justice A.V. Vishwanatha Shastri, the latest being our hero himself. The others were Justice Vishwanatha Shastri's son, Justice V. Ratnam, former Chief Justice of Himachal Pradesh, and in many ways a father figure to Justice Subramanian, Justice V. Sethuraman, Justice M.M. Ismail, former Chief Justice of Madras, Justice Chitra Venkatraman, Justice G.R. Dagajisan, and Justice N. Dinakar. All this gives one an unearthly impression, whether one believes in Vastu or not, that this place has got to have some kind of energy which makes even Google describe it as the flavored location for aspiring lawyers seeking proximity to the High Court. So, into Palato walked this young man after enrolling as an advocate with the Bar Council of Tamil Nadu and Puducherry on 10th September 1986. His Lordship joined in the stable of the legendary M.S. Venkatramayar, a doyen of the Madras Bar. Sri V. Krishnan, son of the legend and himself a hugely successful lawyer, took the young lad under his wings. It was at this time that our interaction became much more. I was myself only 2 years senior in the bar, and my chamber was 57, his was 33. He was extremely popular with his colleagues, who all had christened him with a prefix to his name, showing their affection, which I shall not share. He was a regular fixture in the civil appellate side courts as well as the writ courts. He was equally conversant with trial work on the civil side, thanks to his early grooming by a senior. I do not remember if his Lordship ever did much criminal work, but knowing his panache for law, I am sure if he did, he would have excelled in that as well. Our friendly banter in the corridors and in the chambers, while still enthusiastically pursuing our careers, made those times very special. It is like those were the days. One matter where both Justice Subramanian's office and mine were involved working together was the famous full bench judgment in the case of Neyveli Lignite Corporation, reported in 1989 2 Law Weekly 381, where this court finally ruled that in matters of land acquisition, it is the state alone which has the right to challenge the reference and the award, and not the authority for whose benefit the acquisition was made. So high was his Lordship's eminence in civil law that when the High Court formed a committee in 2002 under the chairmanship of Justice E. Padmanabhan to discuss amendments to the Code of Civil Procedure, he was a natural choice as its member. Apart from his felicity at court, he was also very good at imparting knowledge and was a regular resource person to the Tamil Nadu State Judicial Academy. He remained so even after his elevation to the Madras High Court, something that was made possible by none other than our Chief Justice Sanjay Kishan Kaul, who was an outstanding talent scout when it comes to judicial appointments. The swearing-in held in the new auditorium on the morning of 5th October 2016 was truly a mela. In addition to your Lordships, 14 other judges were sworn in by the Chief Justice Kaul. Justice Parthiban was your senior and he retired a few years back, while amongst the rest of the 12, we still have sitting in this court right in front of me or on VC from Madurai, Justice M. Sundar, Justice R. Suresh Kumar, Justice J. Nisha Banu, Justice M. S. Ramesh, Justice S. M. Subramanian, Justice Anita Sumant, Justice P. Velmurugan, and Justice C. V. Karthikeyan. It was a truly long day, and having done enough speeches this last week or so, I can imagine the plight of my predecessor Thiru Sami. God bless his soul. Theodore Roosevelt, the former president of the USA, while speaking about his foreign policy approach, said, "Speak softly and carry a big stick." I had used this expression for describing one of the judges of this court on her farewell. In the case of Justice R. Subramanian, this has to be amended to say, "Speak softly, carry a big stick on one hand and an olive branch on the other." That about epitomizes the learned judge when he ascended the bench, whether as a junior judge in his initial stint or during his long stint as a single judge and again a long stint as a senior judge presiding over a division bench. Justice Subramanian was always extremely vocal. While he did carry a big stick which he would occasionally use, being otherwise the soft-hearted human being that he is, he would extend the other arm carrying the peace offering of the olive branch as well. Lawyers attending his court have got to be well prepared or face his wrath, but at the same time never get offended because the admonition came from a clean heart and a spirit of pushing the counsel to better performance. A very peremptory analysis of the hundreds of reported judgments given by his Lordship would reflect the sheer spectrum of fields his legalese had touched. Justice R. Subramanian, as a judge handling civil matters, was clearly the master of the court, for his enormous knowledge in that field was palpable even as a lawyer. His equal proficiency in administrative law was also not a matter of doubt. However, towards the fag end of his term, when his lordship sat to the division bench dealing with service matters, was when his ability to grasp any law and master it in no time came to the fore. It was during this period that, whereas Advocate General, I had to spend many hours each day in court number 3 and later court number 2, debating on dearness allowance, pay fixation, inter-se seniority and regularization service and such other aspects of service law. Yes, the Advocate General is spending almost 70% of his judicial time purely on service matters, and when I discussed this malady with my predecessor Vijay Narayan, he upped the percentages to 80. But doing this branch of law in Justice Subramanian's court gave it a different twist, and I do cherish these moments despite my inexcusable diffidence to service jurisprudence. The last important case I did before your lordship was the interesting batch of cases involving the career advancement scheme in Polytechnic and Engineering College, on which you gave judgment just a day or two back. As is customary, let me give a sampler of your lordship's judicial pronouncements. I will begin with 3 full bench judgments over which you presided. In Suraj Lal versus Pradeep Stainless Steel, where arising out of a perceived conflict of opinions between 2 division benches, your lordship answered a reference on the issue of whether an order granting leave under clause 12 to institute a suit in the Madras High Court can be said to be an order passed under the Commercial Courts Act 2015, and also whether the order refusing to revoke leave can be construed as such. Your lordship held that such orders to be ones under the Commercial Courts Act, and therefore held the appeals were not maintainable. Once again, arising out of a divergent views taken by 2 division benches, the full bench presided over by your lordship decided through the voice of Justice P.T. Asha in the case of D. Bright John versus Church of South India on the question of maintainability of petitions under Article 226 against the CSI in respect of matters relating to domestic elections. Your lordship upheld the writ on the ground that CSI was exercising certain functions which are of public character. When the Supreme Court left this legal point open without interfering with your order, your lordship, sitting in a division bench later, wrote that the writ would not lie under certain circumstances, but only where some statutory or public elements were involved. This is a very, very rare character to process. The most recent full bench of your lordship is in the case of M. Sivappa versus State of Tamil Nadu, where your lordships were concerned with the issue relating to regularization of temporary employees of the state government. Your lordship held that persons who are employed in any one of the 86 categories mentioned in the special rules for Tamil Nadu basic service would be regularized on meeting certain conditions, and that the same would not be violative of the Constitution bench judgment of the Supreme Court in the case of Uma Devi. We are still suffering under it, sir. As a division bench, another interesting case your lordship decided was Pappu versus the sub-registrar, where you held that the sub-registrar's office cannot invoke Rule 55A of the Tamil Nadu registration rules to refuse registrations indiscriminately. Your lordships commented on the difficulties of the common man in obtaining original documents or non-traceability certificates. It is to your credit that several months later, I lost before the Supreme Court, where the Apex Court not only agreed with your viewpoint, but struck down Rule 55A itself as ultra vires the Registration Act. In the case of Abbotsbury Owners Association versus Member Secretary, your lordship decided on the issue of whether a building owner can sell the common area. You held that builders tried to take advantage of the mistakes in calculation of the undivided share and sell the common area, and that builders cannot exploit the mistake to make flat purchases, pay for unsold portions. In the case of Muruganandan versus J. Joseph, your lordship found that there were lots of unresolved issues arising from rent control matters. Specifically, it was on the question of whether eviction proceedings could be entertained in cases concerning oral tenancies or written tenant instruments created before the 2017 Rent Control Act came into force. Your lordship classified the cases into 6 categories and held that only 3 categories would be maintainable and the other 3 should fail. Lastly, we also have Justice R. Subramanian to thank us for keeping our beach for the residents of Chennai and not descending into becoming a mere site of protest for worthy or unworthy causes. For it was he who, as a junior judge sitting with Justice K.K. Sashidharan, ruled in the case of Government of Tamil Nadu versus Ayyakannu that the right to protest cannot be unrestricted and the right not to listen to should also be taken into account. I must readily admit that my entire office team spent the last few days poring over your judgments, and it was a battle for me personally to just choose 6 or 7. This presentation hardly does any credit to your extraordinary performance as a judge of the Charter High Court, and I crave your forgiveness if any special ruling of yours has not found a place. It is like how Bumrah does not find a place in the playing 11 for strategic reasons, despite being the world's best fast bowler. The disposal statistics of the learned judge is simply staggering. In his stint in both the principal bench as well as the Madurai bench, either in a division bench or sitting singly, over his almost 9 years of service, Justice R. Subramanian has disposed of 14,991 main cases and 22,497 number of miscellaneous cases. Sir, it is a medallion you can be proud of and wear throughout your life. On the administrative side, Justice R. Subramanian has been of great help to succeeding Chief Justices as he was a part of several important committees. I would in particular refer to his stints in the Administrative Committee, the Judicial Services Appointments Committee and the High Court Building Committee, where he has contributed immensely. A specific mention should be made of what he, in association with Justice Suresh Kumar, Justice Asha, Justice Mala, and the able assistance of Senior Advocate N.L. Raja from the Heritage Committee did, and along with the engineering staff in the renovation of our main High Court Heritage Building. It is something legendary. Seeing is believing. What they collectively did was opening up the corridors of justice and additionally making them corridors of beauty. Not content with the main building, His Lordship also took it upon himself to build the canteen for the staff of the High Court and others behind the City Civil Court building, and also made provisions for the establishment of a TUCS depot to supply provisions at affordable prices to those canteens. Your Lordship has been an integral part of this court since 1986, and quite definitely a great brother to your companion judges since 2016. The former can be gauged by this large turnout for the occasion today. We have a full house, and it's very, very unusual. And this full house includes amongst the members several retired judges whose life your Lordship has obviously touched at some time or the other. The latter is palpable from the number of glowing tributes that have been paid to you from your brothers and sisters on the bench over the last day or two in several groups. It is no understatement to say that your brilliant presence and sense of humor will be sorely missed by one and all, me particularly. Finally, as we head to the last over, let me exhort your Lordship not to keep looking into the great past. Of course, reminiscing of them now and then is acceptable and understandable by all accounts. But as Harold Macmillan, the former Prime Minister of UK, said after he demitted office, I quote, "Too many people live too much in the past. The past must be a springboard and not a sofa." I had been guilty of reducing one of your Lordship's colleagues to becoming emotional after my farewell, and in your case, I can only use the words of Dr. Seuss when he said, "Don't cry because it's over, smile because it happened." On behalf of a very grateful bar of the Madras High Court and its Madurai bench, I wish you every happiness and health in your retirement. Knowing your panache, I can safely say that you will now have time to love all. Don't get me wrong, I meant to start your next game of tennis. Fare thee well, my friend. May I conclude by borrowing the title of a song by the famous rock band Pink Floyd about missing one of their band members very deeply, and I too will miss you on that personal level. Shine on, you crazy diamond. Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir. May I request the Honorable Thiru Justice R. Subramanian to offer acceptance speech.
I took over along with 15 of my brother and sister judges. So the time that was allotted to me when I was sworn in as judge of this court was a mere 2 minutes. Today I am the hero and I think I'll take some more time of yours. My Lord the Chief Justice, brother and sister judges in the principal seat as well as the Madurai bench, Thiru P.S. Raman, Learned Advocate General, Thiru A.R.L. Sundaresan, Learned Additional Solicitor General, Thiru Hasan Mohammed Jinnah, Learned Public Prosecutor, Thiru Edwin Prabhakar, Learned Government Pleader, Public Prosecutors and Government Pleaders from Madurai, Mr. Mohan Das, Learned Public Prosecutor Puducherry, Mr. Ravi Kumar, Learned Government Pleader Puducherry, Mr. Prabhakaran, Vice Chairman of the Bar Council of India, Mr. Amal Raj, Chairman of the Bar Council of Tamil Nadu and Puducherry, Mr. Velu Karthikeyan, Vice Chairman of the Bar Council of Tamil Nadu and Puducherry, Presidents and Office Bearers of various bar associations, Additional Advocates General, Government Pleaders and Public Prosecutors in the Principal Seat and the Madurai Bench, Law Officers of both State of Tamil Nadu and Puducherry, Presidents of various bar associations, Senior Advocates, from the bar, press and media. Good evening to all. My former judges, my former brother judges, thank you for being here. Parting is always painful, but in case of judges, we all have an expiry date. We are aware that we should part on a particular date in the future. I must confess that I was an average student of law. When I entered the portals of this Chartered High Court way back in 1986, I did not even know the direction to my senior's chamber. I, in awe and my eyes wide open, was searching for the chamber. An elderly gentleman guided me to the chamber, and from then on, this majestic red building has taken me into her fold, and there was no looking back. My senior late V. Krishnan gave me all the liberty, and I was allowed to oppose many senior lawyers in court halls. I must be the one of very few first-generation lawyers who got the privilege of appearing before the Honorable Chief Justice within a month of enrollment. This won me a lot of well-wishers in the profession. To name a few, Honorable Justice Venkatachalamurthy, Honorable Justice Jagadisan, Honorable Justice Somasundaram, Honorable Justice Raviraja Pandian, Honorable Justice Padmanabhan, Honorable Justice F.M. Ibrahim Kalifullah, Honorable Justice V. Rama Subramanian, late Sri R. Krishnamurthy, a former Advocate General, Sri G. Maslamani, another former Advocate General, and Sri A. L. Somayaji, another former Advocate General, became my good friends regardless of age. I grew up steadily under the guidance of my senior and the friends named above. During the period of 30 years between 1986 and my elevation in 2016, I had enjoyed every moment of my life as a lawyer. After my elevation, I had disposed of cases with utmost sincerity. Yes, I must confess that I was a little harsh when I found that lawyers were underprepared. It was due to my conviction that a client believes his lawyer more than his spouse, and an underprepared lawyer cannot do justice to the cause. After spending 39 years in the Red Building, I leave with a sense of pride that I have done my bit both as a lawyer and as a judge. I definitely see a ray of hope for this institution, and I firmly believe that institution is bigger than all of us. This institution has served the cause of justice for 160 years. Many people, include me, bored at some point of time and alight at some point of time. But the institution goes on as strong as it was. When it was presided over by great men like Chief Justice Rajamanar, who was the longest Chief Justice of this court for over 13 years. In my humble opinion, that no one in this institution should think that he or she is indispensable. Persons may come and persons may go, but the institution will continue its journey, rendering justice and protecting people. Judiciary today is one of the strongest pillars of democracy. It has withstood several onslaughts and attempts from within to destabilize it. I live with the feeling that those who attempt that will never succeed and this institution will go on forever. To my young friends in the bar, my only request is that they must come prepared when they enter the court hall and they should be able to answer the questions posed by the bench. As we all firmly believe that bench and bar are like two wheels of the chariot of justice, unless there is a strong bar, there cannot be a strong bench. By saying a strong bar, I don't mean a bar that will fight the bench. I mean a very eminent bar which will assist and guide the bench in rendering justice. It is time to leave, and I should thank all those who are responsible for my career. Though my senior Mr. V. Krishnan is not with us today, I am sure he is blessing me from the other world, of which we know very little. My parents have been a pillar of support to me throughout my journey. I will be failing in my duty if I don't thank my elder brother, Professor R. Srinivasan, who was responsible for me to take up law as a profession. Fortunately, he is with us today. Thank you, Anna. Coming to my family, my wife has supported me throughout, but for her cooperation and dedication, I have not been able to discharge my duties both as a lawyer and as a judge. At the time of our marriage, my senior told her that I should never be disturbed when I am in office. She took that advice seriously, and I can say without fear of contradiction that she has never disturbed me while I was in my office, both as a lawyer and as a judge for 33 years now. My son, who happens to be a practicing lawyer, maintained the dignity and never entered my chambers or the court which I am presiding, except on the day of my swearing in, the day I fell sick in my chamber, and today, the last day. Thank you both, Usha and Adarsh. My personal staff, my PAs Tirumati Vasanti, Tirumati Sankita and Thiru Karthikeyan at Chennai, Thiru Balaji and Tirumati Mercy at Madurai have been of great assistance to me during my tenure as a judge. All of them have been thoroughly sincere and prompt. I am fortunate to have such dedicated personal staff, particularly the PAs, and I could deliver all judgments during my entire career within the time stipulated. The other personal staff, my driver, Mr. Shivakumar and Mr. Bhaskar at Chennai, Mr. Krishnamurthy at Madurai, my OAS, Mrs. Ravi, Murthy, Venkateshan, and the attenders at my house, Mr. Arumugam, Mr. Munishwaran at Chennai, Mrs. Mariappan, Selvendran in my chambers, and Mr. Jayendra Parthiban, Rajkumar, Balaguru, Muthuvel, Krishna Kumar in my residence at Madurai deserve a word of praise and thanks. They have understood my family so well, and we were like an extended family. I will be missing all of them. I sincerely thank all of them for the services rendered to me and looking after my needs as a judge. My personal assistant, Mr. Prabhakar, who has been with me since 2002, has been of great help to the entire family, and all of us look up to him. I also thank him from the bottom of my heart. Of course, he has promised to continue with me even after my retirement. My posting clerk, Mr. Daniel, Mr. Court officers, Mrs. Padmini, Mrs. Jayanti, Mrs. Lakshmi Devi, have also been of immense assistance, and I thank them for the service. A word of praise must go to the protocol officers headed by Mr. Govindarajan at Chennai and Mr. Selvam at Madurai. They have taken care of my travel needs very carefully, and I thank Mr. Prem Kumar, Mr. Kannan at Chennai, Mr. Sundaresa Perumal at Madurai, who had rendered all the assistance to me and my family whenever we travel. My personal security officers, Mr. Mohan Babu and Mr. Srinivasan at Chennai, and Mr. N. Premnath at Madurai, we were also been very kind to me and my family. Mr. Arjun Kumar, Mr. David, Mr. Yerumalai, and Mr. Karthik, the guards at my house, looked after my residence with warmth. I thank them for having tolerated me for all these years. Mr. Kannappan and his team have helped us immensely at time when there were medical emergencies. They had also extended all their assistance when we had to take care of my ailing mother, who was bedridden for almost a year. Thank you, Mr. Kannappan and his team. Last but not the least, the Registrar General, Srimati Alli, Registrar Judicial Sitaraman, Registrar District Judiciary Subba Anbumani, Registrar Mediation Mr. Balasubramanian, Registrar Vigilance Mrs. Jacinta Martin, Registrar Administration Mr. B. Hari, PPS to the Honorable Chief Justice Mr. Jayashankar, and Mr. Srinivasan, Registrar Licensing Srimati Uma, and Abdul Bakar, Registrar Management Mrs. Meenal, Registrar IT cum Statistics Mr. Ganapati Swami, and Registrar Vigilance Mr. Sri Ramajayam, Registrar Recruitment Trivengada Srinivasan, and Additional Registrar Recruitment N. Saraswati, Additional Registrar General at Madurai Abdul Kader, and Registrar Judicial at Madurai Thiruvalar Ayyappan, all of whom have been of immense help, and whatever I require in terms of either records or statistics were placed with utmost priority. This helped me in managing the administrative work without any delay. I thank the Learned Advocate General for having said so many good things about me. I don't know whether I deserve all the accolades, but since they had come from a good friend, Mr. P.S. Raman, I accept them with all humility at my command. As regards things the Learned Advocate General termed as my achievement, I owe it to my colleagues. On the recruitment committee, it was Brother Justice M. Sundar and Justice P.D. Adikesolu, and the then Registrar of Recruitment, Mr. Ayyappan, who had been pillar of support in the entire process. On the Rule Committee, I had the able assistance of Brother Justice Anand, Sister Tamilchelvi, and lawyer members, Thiruvalargal A. Somyaji, Thiru Srinath Sridevan, Ramakrishnan, and Om Prakash. But for their assistance, I would not have been able to discharge my duties as the chairperson of the Rule Committee. I should also mention about the Pitamaga of the bar, Sri K. Parasaram. Though I had no personal acquaintance with him before my elevation, he agreed to meet me because I happened to hail from the office of Mr. M. S. Sankatamaya, whom he respected. He agreed to meet me soon after my elevation. His words of encouragement still linger in my mind when he said, "A thorough civil lawyer can master any subject." This gave me confidence to preside over portfolios in various subjects during my tenure as a judge. During the short stint of 3 months, I had presided over the criminal bench. It was Justice N. Satish Kumar who sat with me. He took the lead and guided me throughout. Thank you, Satish. If I had rendered some judgments worth mention in the criminal side, it is because of your help. I thank my brothers K. Kumaresh Babu, S. Satikumar Kurup, R. Shaktivel, C. Kumarappan, N. Sandil Kumar, G. Arul Murugan, K. Surendra, and sisters Govindaraj and Tilakavati, R. Kalaimati, and L. Victoria Gauri for tolerating me on the bench. In the building committee, if I was able to achieve something, it was due to the strong support of brothers Justice Suresh Kumar, Adikesolu, Sister Asha, and N. Mala. I must acknowledge the support of Mr. Kulandayan, Executive Engineer PWD, who had understood each one of us and, more importantly, each corner of this red building and worked with utmost commitment to restore the heritage building. Thank you, brothers and sisters, and thank you, Mr. Kulandayan, for the dedication and hard work. The results are there for all you to see. Finally, I thank God. Thank you all. Jai Hind. Please permit me to take a bow.
Thank you, my lord. May I conclude the proceedings, my lord? National anthem.
जनगणमन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मागे गाहे तव जय गाथा जय जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे